Hey everyone, happy March 31st. If you're like me, you've recently realized you can't keep track of days or schedules, so I'm here to tell you today is March 31st. And March 31st is an awesome day because it is also known as Cesar Chavez Day, because today is the day of Cesar Chavez's birthday. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Cesar Chavez and a little bit about his history, but I really want to recommend that you guys go do a little history research on him and then watch the movie that they made on him. I do enjoy the movie. I wouldn't say cinematically it's this great, really cool movie, but they do a phenomenal job showing the type of man that he was and what it was that he did for farm workers all over the place. Cesar Chavez was a man who started the union, the Farm Workers Association, and helped raise rights for farm workers. He's known well in the Hispanic community for what he did, but he actually brought a lot of great things to people and farm workers around, and at the time there was more than just Hispanic people working in the fields. Even near where he lived, there was a lot of even like Polynesian groups and cultures that were picking that he kind of joined forces with to help bring those rights, because at the time farm workers didn't have a lot of rights. They were not treated fairly. They were not treated well by most farmers. I mean, there's a few situations or circumstances. When I talked to my abuelita and some of the circumstances she was very fortunate to have worked with some great farmers, but that wasn't the case with everyone. They, a lot of the time, would have to work extreme hours in the extreme heat with very little time for breaks or access to food, access to clean water nearby, even facilities to use the restroom. Sometimes that wasn't provided for them anywhere nearby. In some extreme situations, even when the airplanes would come and lay fertilizer on the crops, they would do it whether the farm workers were in the field or not. They also, for certain harvests, would sometimes have to use tools. There's a particular short-handled tool that was used to harvest things that was not safe for the workers, and many people got hurt by it, and that there was just not a lot of regulations for things like that, not to mention how hard it was for these people, hard on their bodies, their backs, the things that they've had to go through. And there's no, what we have today is different, insurance policies and retirement plans and things like that, but that wasn't provided for farm workers then. And so he recognized the way that these farmers were being treated, both in his family and his friends and the people around him. And after going to school and some different things, he decided he wanted to stand up for this, but he wanted to do it in non-violent ways. So some of the biggest things he's known for was starting a boycott for different farmers, particularly grape farmers, who were not abiding by what they set as healthy standards for the different farmers. So there was a huge boycott that after starting the Farm Workers Association, they had like a logo of a bird, and they would start putting that on some of the stuff so that people would know, okay, these were grapes or even wines and different things that I can partake of because they're the safe people. That's my daughter. And so a lot of, they found that some of these farms that they were boycotting were having their grapes were rotting. They were losing thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in product because of this boycott. Sometimes they were taunted and teased to try and become violent, but they stood their ground, and he insisted on them not being violent in that. Another big thing he's known for is he did a big march all the way from where he was down in Southern California and marched all the way up to the Capitol in Sacramento, which was not easy for him. Physically, it was really hard on his feet, and he went through a lot of physical damage. But when they got, as they started, I want to say they had maybe around a dozen, I'd have to look at the exact numbers, but somewhere between a dozen and 20 people when they started. And when he got towards the Capitol, they had a couple hundred people that had joined the march along the route. They found people along the route that helped take care of their, housing needs or physical needs and different things like that. And on the way, the Senator Robert F. Kennedy actually came and met with Cesar Chavez and helped start that union and recognized the march that he did and helped prepare the way for that. So he kind of helped lay down the foundation for that. So he was known for the boycotts, the marches, and he was also known for doing, but there are several people that are known for also doing hunger strikes, and Cesar Chavez was one of them. And he just did a lot of great things for farmers to help them have better rights and things for them. So Today is Cesar Chavez Day. I want to just say, you know, do a little research and history about something new, about this culture, about this person. I talked a little bit about him when I talked to you guys about the movie McFarland USA, but I really want to encourage you guys to do a lot more research and teach your kids about this, and how when you find a cause that you find is worthy to fight, that it's okay to stand up for what you believe in, and there's ways to do it in nonviolent ways. And that is one thing that I just love that he set that example for us. So as of right now, March 31st, 2020, Cesar Chavez, the only way I can find it on any streaming devices is if you have the Stars add-on for Hulu. It is available on there. Otherwise, it's one that you would probably need to rent or purchase like off of Amazon or Apple or something like that. But do look into it, try and find it. It is a great movie that helps you better understand more about him and his life. I also have a children's book I like to read to my kids every year at this time of year, so I'm actually going to do a separate video of me reading that book, and I'm going to share that with you. So if you want to stay tuned and click another video, I'll have that for you to watch as well. So hopefully you guys learned just a little bit more history today, and hopefully you guys can have a little bit more appreciation for the people that work so hard for us out in the fields, helping provide the food that we put on our table and the food that we feed our families, because they go through a lot and they endure a lot of elements, and there has been many years of changes to help bring those people to have decent living or working situations, making sure there's shade provided for them, water nearby, you know, ways that they're being taken care of, and restrooms and all those kinds of things. So please say a prayer today of gratitude for all those farm workers, because they really do work really hard, and I am so grateful for what they do.